Hi, welcome to Landscape of Mothers. I made a video about how it's the little things, right? How it's the little things in our relationships that make a big difference. And I want to give a little bit more on how and why, and then how that scales. So what I mean by that is not only is like doing small things like I don't know, the way we take care of one situation, how it ripples into the rest of our lives. Not only is that a thing in relationship between the two people, between us and our children or us and our partners, but it's also part of our lineage healing, right? And what I mean by that is the experience. So we're constantly having experiences every day. And the reality and the research says that functionally those experiences are linked together like a chain, right? And we know this because, or we can verify for ourselves, right? Like we know that if we're really upset about something and we get in our car and somebody, is driving in a way that's hindering us, then we tend to be more angry at them than if we left the house right after something good happens to us and we're driving. We're like, sure, I'll get there when I get there, and I'm going with the flow, right? So our experiences in our days or in our lives link themselves together, and they all kind of move together. So, I mean, if we want to think about it in those terms of our experiences moving, right? We are guiding our lives in a particular direction, looking for certain kinds of experiences and looking to provide certain kinds of experiences to our kids, right? With the goal that we feel differently every day. So it's actually very powerful to realize that everything we do, the small things we do, actually are rippling out and having effects around the rest of the day for our relationships. And then I believe this is true also for our lineage, so that as our small actions during the day, in our context, particularly for our kids, we are providing a certain orientation toward their self-awareness or their self-sufficiency or their knowledge and ability to be self-reflective. And those things make a big difference. They're moving this whole chain of experiences of our family line in a different direction. So the point being, I don't want to discount the small things. In fact, what we really want to do is maximize our small things. That is, we don't need as much capacity in any given moment, maybe, as we would, as we might think. So the grand gesture things don't get us in the same degree to the place we want to go as repeated small experiences. So what that translates into our behavior is that what we do, like the little things we do, turn out to be really important. So the more we do them every day. So when we're clear about what our intent and our values and our direction is, then we can use that as our framework to determine what we do in these small moments when they come up, right? When the kid comes and says, what do you think of my art? Or my sister is kicking me, or whatever. Like, how do you deal with all of these things? Because cumulatively, how we orient toward those moves us in a particular direction. I think it also gives us a little bit of like, oh, I don't have to be perfect, right? So in this chain, I can have some chains that actually just went really badly, where I didn't have the capacity, where the thing feels like it falls apart, and the worry, I think, from inside can sometimes be like, oh, did I just ruin or sabotage all this work I've been doing? And the answer would be no, right? So one chain goes one direction, but all these other chains are going somewhere else, and it's really a cumulative effect. So two things are knowing where we want to go in terms of what behaviors or what patterns are we really operating to break, and then in our family line, and then what do we need to do? What's the solution, right? What's the thing that's been missing in this family line? Was it respect? Was it encouragement? Was it modeling a different behavior? Was it being more regulated? And, what's the thing that you're working on in the moment? And then using that to guide your small moment responses, right? When it seems like they don't matter is probably when they matter a great deal. Dare say even matter the most, right? Because it's those little things that are moving the chain in a particular direction. So small things matter, and you can flub up in a moment sometimes and still not damage the overall process of what you're doing. So keep going. I hope it's encouraging. If you need support with trying to figure out what it is in your family line that you're breaking and what is needed in that thing so that you can bring it in those small moments, I really think that the process of Landscape of Mothers, for me, is how I do that. It's the way for me to articulate a complicated landscape and figure out the steps that I'm really needing or the places I'm needing to work on it. So I recommend buying the book. Reach out if you want help doing that. I'm available for sort of beginning sessions where we would do like 4 sessions and do exactly that. Try to figure out what's going on in the family line that needs addressing, and what's sort of the beacon you can hold to help you manage the small moments in a particular direction. So thank you for watching, and thank you for your presence and attention.